Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Lecture number 8, unit number 2, matrices and determinant is the title of unit number 2. The topic of this video lecture is properties of determinants. In previous video lecture, we discussed the determinants of 3 by 3 and higher order matrices. If A is a square matrix of order 3, this is a square matrix of order 3 in journal form, then the determinant of this matrix is denoted by the absolute of A. This is read as determinant of A, or you can denote this determinant by det of A, or you can denote the determinant of this matrix by small delta. This determinant can be expanded with the help of any row or any column. So there are 3 rows and 3 columns. So there are 6 possible ways to find out the determinant of a square matrix having order 3 by 3. If you want to expand this matrix with any row, so the formula for that will be AI1, capital AI1 plus AI2, capital AI2 plus small AI3, capital AI3, and impose a condition on I that I runs from 1 up to 3. So if you put I equal to 1, if you put I equal to 1, so that determinant will be with respect to first row, and the formula for the determinant of matrix A will become A11, capital A11, A12, capital A12, and A13, capital A13. So this is the formula for the determinant of matrix A when you are using first row for the expansion of the determinant of the given matrix. If you put I equal to 3, so that formula will become the formula for finding out the determinant of this matrix with respect to second row. Mean you are using second row and you want to find out the determinant of this matrix. If you put I equal to 3 in this formula, so you will get the formula for the determinant of this matrix with respect to third row. Mean you are expanding the determinant of the matrix with the help of the third row. If you are interested to find out the determinant with the help of columns, so for that the general formula for 3 by 3 matrix will be A1j, capital A1j, A2j, capital A2j, small A3j, capital A3j, and put a condition on j that j runs from 1 to 3. So if you put I equal to 3, so if you put j equal to 1, so you will get the determinant for the matrix A using first column. If you put j equal to 2, so you will get the determinant of the matrix A using second column, and if you put j equal to 3, so you will get the determinant of the matrix A using third column. So from here you get 3 possibilities, and from here you get 3 possibilities. So these are the 6 possible ways to find out the determinant of matrix A. You need to use one of them because From all these 6 possibilities you will get the unique solution, because determinant is a function which associate each square matrix with a unique number. So from the determinants you will get always a number. So you may calculate that number by using one of the formula, either from the rows expansions or from the columns expansions. So this is for the 3 by 3 matrix. After that we discussed if a matrix has order n by n. In mathematics we always generalize the concepts. So if I want to generalize this concept, so instead of 3 by 3 matrix I will take n by n matrix. So the determinant of this matrix is denoted by the absolute of A, which is read as determinant of A. These bars of A is read as determinant of A, not absolute of A. Or you can, this is another notation, and this small delta is also determinant, and that will be equal to, if you are interested to find out the determinant with respect to any row, so the formula will be equal to small ai1 capital AI1 plus AI2 capital AI2 and so on up to small ain capital AIN, and I runs from 1 up to n. So if you put I equal to 1, so that will be the formula you are using the first row. If you put I equal to 2, so you are using second row to find out the determinant of the n by n matrix. And if you are in, so this is the n ways. From here you get n ways, because n equal to I equal to 1 you will get one formula, I equal to 2 you will get another formula, and so on. When you put I equal to n, so you will get nth formula. So from rows there are n possibilities, and when you are interested to find out the determinant of a matrix with a column, so for that the determinant of n by n matrix will be denoted by these three. One of them you can use. So at the end that will be a1j capital A1j, a2j capital A2j plus so on up to anj capital ANJ, and j runs from 1 up to n. So this is the n possibilities. So here when the matrix is of order n by n, so there are 2n possible ways to find out the determinants, and these 2n, in these 2n possibilities, n possibilities are with respect to row and n possibilities are with respect to column. You need to expand this matrix with one of the row or one of the column. Okay, and in these formulas, this capital A11 or capital AI1, these are the cofactors of the elements. The smalls Aij are the elements of the matrices, and the capital Aij is the cofactor, and cofactor is also a number. We discussed it in the previous video lecture. But from here you see that when you are finding out the determinant by using these formulas, it becomes so difficult. It involves too much calculation. So in this video lecture we will discuss the properties to find out the determinant of some special matrices. So property number one is property number one. The value of the determinant will be unchanged, remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. For example, if we have a matrix we have a matrix A. Okay, now these properties that we will discuss in this video lecture inshallah will be true for any order of a square matrix, but we shall restrict ourselves up to the determinant of order 3 only, because in this chapter you see that the higher orders, in higher order matrices we only consider order 3 matrices. So these properties are true for any order of square matrices, but we will restrict ourselves to order 3 matrices. So I am considering order 3 matrix in a journal form. So this is the A notation for this matrix: A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Okay, and let's say this determinant of this matrix is denoted by delta, and you need to convert the square bracket signs into the bars for the determinant notation. This is one of the notation for representing a determinant. So I am taking delta here for the determinant representation. Okay, so this is the determinant of matrix A. The property number 1 says that if I change rows into columns, the value of the determinant remains unchanged if the rows and columns are interchanged. Mean if you convert rows, all the 3 rows into columns or all the 3 columns into rows, so it will never affect the value of the determinant. So what does it mean when you convert the rows into columns or column into rows? So you will get the this is actually the definition of the transpose of a matrix. So it means that this property, in other words, says that if you take the transpose of this matrix, mean the transpose of this matrix is denoted by this, you may use capital T or small t, and that will be equal to, I am converting the first row into first column, second row into second column, second row into second column, third row into third column. And let's say the determinant of this matrix is denoted by delta 1. So square bracket signs will be changed into the bars. Okay, now you see that this is a given matrix, this is a given matrix A. Let's say the determinant of this matrix is denoted by delta. If you change the rows and the columns of this matrix, mean interchange, when you interchange the rows and the columns of this matrix, mean if you take the transpose of this matrix, this is the transpose of this matrix, first row is converted into first column, second row is converted into second column, third row is converted into third column, and if you see to the first column, this first column is converted into first row, the second column is converted into second row, the third column is converted into third row. This is the definition of a transpose. So you see that in this matrix the rows and the columns are interchanged. So if you interchange the rows and the columns of a matrix, so the determinants of those matrices will never change. So this property says that this delta, which is the determinant of this matrix, will be equal to delta 1, which is the determinant of the matrix, which is actually the transpose of a matrix. So from here we conclude that the determinant of a matrix and its transpose will be always equal. This is an important point that we conclude from here. You see, from here we get an important conclusion that the determinant of matrix A will be equal to the determinant of its transpose. This point must be kept in mind while you are finding out the determinants. So for this I am taking an example to show that this property is true. This property is true in journals. If you expand this with any row or any column, or if you expand this with any row or any column, you will get the same results from both, because this property says that when you interchange rows into columns and columns into rows, so the determinant will remain unchanged, mean the determinant will not change. This is property number 1. So this is true for all matrices of any order, square matrices of any order, but we are considering order 3 matrices. So I am taking an example for this property number 1. The example property number 1 is, let's say we have a determinant, let's say we have a matrix of order 3 by 3 which contain the elements in the first row 2 minus 3 5. The elements of matrix A in the second row are 6 0 4, and in the third row the elements are 1 5 and minus 7. I am taking the determinant of this matrix and I am denoting the determinant by delta. You may denote the determinant by this, or you can also denote the determinant by this, but I am denoting the determinant by delta. Okay, so the determinant of this matrix, if I use the proper definition that we studied in the previous video lecture, so you know that you can find out the determinant of this matrix with any row or any column. So the best choice is you need to choose such a row or such a column which contain maximum number of zeros, because in the formulas of the determinant you see that the elements of a matrix is multiplied with the cofactor of that element. So if I choose such a row or such a column in which the number of zeros are maximum, so there will be a less calculation, because I will not find the cofactors of that elements which are 0, because 0 multiplied by the cofactor will become 0. You know that cofactor is also an element. So the best choice is to expand the matrix with a row or column which contain the 0. So the second row and second column contain the 0, so you need to expand this matrix with respect to second row or second column. I am expanding with respect to expanding this matrix with respect to second row. So when you are expanding a matrix with a second row, so in general the formula is A21 capital A21, A22 capital A22, A23 capital A23. So here you see that this small a21 is 6, and you need to find out the capital A21. This is the cofactor. You will use the proper way to find the cofactor. Now this A22 is 0, so 0 multiplied by capital A22, and this A23 equal to 4, so this is equal to 23. So now this determinant is equal to 6 capital A21, this is 0, so this is no need to write again A23. So for this determinant you need to find out the cofactor A21. So cofactor A21 is equal to minus times minor M21, because 2 plus 1 minus 1 power 2 plus 1 mean minus 1 power 3, that is equal to minus 1. So this is equal to minus times minor of M21, minor of M2. So you need to cancel out the second row and first column, and the rest of the you will take the determinant of the rest. So that is equal to, here is minus also, so minus 3 multiplied by minus 7, this is 21, and this is minus 25. So from here you get minus times minus 4, so this is equal to, so plus 4, so this is plus 4, and A23 will be equal to minus times m2 3, because 2 plus 3 is also odd, 5 is odd, so this is minus. You need to cancel out the second row and third column, and you will take the determinant of the rest of the matrix. So this is minus, this is 10 plus 3, so this is minus 13. Now put these values in the equation 1. So this determinant of matrix A will be equal to 6 multiplied by 4 plus 4 multiplied by minus 13. So from this you will get minus 28. So this is the determinant of this matrix. Now if you take the transpose mean, I am taking this example for property number 1. So property number 1 says that if you interchange the rows into columns or columns into rows, so the determinant will remain same. So now I am changing the rows into columns and columns into rows mean, in other words, you are taking the transpose of the matrix. So when you take the transpose, the determinant will not change. You see that I am converting rows into columns and columns into rows. You see it from here that in this matrix A, this is a first row, so here it is a first column, and matrix A, this is a first column, so here it is a first row. It is a second row, so here it is a second column. It is a second column, so here it is a second row. So columns and rows are interchanged, mean you are taking the transpose. So if you let's say the determinant of this matrix is denoted by delta 1, and I am expanding this matrix with respect to second row because the second row contain 0. So this will be equal to a formula for the second row is same this one. So this small a21 is minus 3, and here you need to find out the cofactor a21. This will be 0 times a22, and this will be 5 a23. So this delta 1 is equal to minus 3, and this is a21, this becomes 0, this is 5 a23. This is the, let's say, equation number 2. I am finding out a21 which is equal to minus times m21 minus, you need to cancel out the second row and first column and take the determinant of the rest. So you see, you get this. Okay, now so this will be equal to minus, and this is equal to minus 42 minus 4, so this is equal to plus 46, and a23 is equal to minus m23, and you need to cancel out the second row and third column and take the determinant of the rest. So this is minus, this is 8 minus 30, so this is equal to plus 22. So now put these values in equation number 2. So minus 3 multiplied by 46, 5 multiplied by 22. So from here you will get minus 28. So you see that delta and delta 1 are equal. Delta is the determinant of this matrix. You see it from here. And delta 1 is the determinant of this matrix. So you see that these two matrices are actually, you see, the rows and columns are interchanged. So remember, whenever rows and columns are interchanged, the value of the determinant of such matrices will remain unchanged. This is property number 1. So now I am taking the exercise question, exercise 2.2, question number 2, part number 3. Question number 2, 2.2. Question number 2. Question number 2 says that without evaluating, state the reason for the following equalities. You didn't need to evaluate the determinants, but you need to give a reason for the equality. So that reason must be from the properties of the determinant. So this part 3 involves property number 1. So that's why I am discussing this part 3 question 2 of exercise 2.2. 1, 3, 2, 3 minus 1, 1, minus 2, 1, 4. So without evaluating the determinants, you see that this is the determinant. On the left hand side of this equality, this is 3 by 3 matrix determinant, and on the right side this is also the determinant of 3 by 3 matrix. But the question says that without evaluating the determinant, mean without using the definition of minus and cofactors, state the reason, say the reason that why these two determinants are equal. So if you see to this determinant, if I convert this determinant into a matrix, so the matrix of this is the matrix, let's say denoted by A. And on the right side, if you see to the determinant, this is actually the transpose of this matrix. So you see that these determinants are equal because on the right side this is actually the transpose of the matrix on the left hand side. Mean in this, the rows are interchanged into the rows and columns are interchanged. You see that here this is the first row, here it is the first column. Here you see that this is the second row, here it is the second column. Here you see that it is the third row, it is a third column. And now you see that this is the first column. You see it is a first column, so here it is a first row. The second column is here is a second row. The third column here is a third row. So you see that in these two determinants, rows and columns are interchanged. So property number 1 says that the value of the determinant will remain unchanged if rows and columns are interchanged. So that's why these two determinants are equal. So the reason for this is that these are the transpose of each other, you can say, or you can give the reason that on the left or on the right the rows and columns are interchanged in this equality. So this is the reason I, without evaluating, saying that this equality is true. This both the equality on both sides contain the determinants, and I am not evaluating the determinant, and I am saying that these determinant must be equal because I know a property number 1 that when the rows and columns are interchanged, the determinants will remains unchanged. So the reason for this is, the reason for the equality is, you will write in solution, the reason for equality is rows and columns are interchanged, or you can say that the left hand side, the matrix on the right hand side is a transpose of a matrix on left hand side. In other words, you can write that the matrix on the right hand side is obtained by interchanging rows and columns of the matrix on the left hand side. So this is actually property number 1 says that. So then you can write, then you need to state this property. Then you will write the value of the determinant will remain unchanged if the rows and columns are interchanged. So that's why these two determinants are equal. So this is the reason for this equation question 2 part 3 equality. So this is the property number 1. Inshallah, in coming video we will discuss the property 2, property 3 and so on. Thank you.